Great news, fans of USC and UCLA. You probably still live near the Pacific Ocean.
And a new study suggests that while money can't buy happiness, it can buy terrible losses to Iowa State.
It's time to wake up, college football! Good day, everybody. Week 3 officially in the books. Ryan, how do you feel about week 3?
Roll Tide! That's how I feel. Because it's over.
Roll damn. Can't wait for week 4.
Yeah.
That's going to be, week 4 is going to be fun. But before we get into that, week 3 we didn't think was going to be all that interesting given the matchups.
Right.
But a number of upsets, a lot of weirdness as seen here. Even if your team got upset and there were heartbreaking moments, it's okay because Vanderbilt's special teams will calm you after you lose the game.
It was interesting in the way that if you watch somebody go about their day with nothing particular planned and then they bumble through all of it, it was interesting in that way. You're just like, I'm going to get up and make a bowl of cereal, and you end up flooding your kitchen with milk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what week 3 was.
All right, what stood out to you as, because there were a number of awesome things, what stood out as the awesome thing of week 3?
My awesome thing of week 3, Shane Carden,
yes,
ECU quarterback, came into Virginia Tech, who was riding high off this win in Ohio State, and just lit them up early. Scored.
It was crazy.
They went for 21 points early. They adjusted, and he sort of got slowed down towards the end, but came through at the end of the game.
As Virginia Tech does, by the way.
Absolutely.
They've got a very good secondary.
First 400-yard passer against Virginia Tech since 1999.
That is a long time.
Since Y2K was a thing.
I remember that. Oh,
Frank
Y2K.
Beamer still doesn't have a computer, though. So.
Oh, well, come on. He'll get there.
Yeah.
My awesome thing of the week, other side of the ball, Washington's Shaq Thompson, who was sort of touted as like the new Miles Jack because he was going to get carries. Ridiculous on defense for the Huskies. A defense that has needed all of the help, especially this week with their corners out. Had a scoop and score, had an interception that he took back to the house, got a few carries, almost scored a touchdown on the ground. It was one of those sort of superlative, ridiculous performances that Washington really needs, like every week, going into the Pac-12 season.
And now we've officially talked about Illinois at one point.
That's all of our Big Ten stuff.
Great.
We have broached the Big Ten.
All right, so but I think it's fair to say that Washington beating up Illinois, not that out of the ordinary.
Right, that was expected. What
was in this sort of bizarre week 3, what was the most unexpected thing to you?
I really didn't think Boston College had any way of even just making it sloppy against USC. Especially with what we saw from them last week against Pitt, the fact that they stopped them on the ground, the fact that they ran all over them, the fact that they were able to stop USC's defense, or USC's offense, excuse me, for 4 quarters essentially.
20
they came on at the end.
For USC.
20
what
rushing yards.
What is that about?
We knew the offensive line for USC was going to be a question.
Right.
We knew that they were going into this new offensive, more spread-oriented scheme, but like this is very strange. LA teams don't go across the country anymore. Don't do that. Just book nearby hotels.
How does
and
an LA team not know how to be a dude?
Oh, that's true.
That's what LA's all about.
It should have been a field of bro dudes.
Oh,
what was your unexpected thing going into this week?
So staying in the ACC.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Must we?
What else are we going to do this week?
That's true. That's fair.
I'm going to say Virginia putting the clamps on the Louisville offense.
Which actually could tell us more about the Pac-12, too.
Yes, it could tell us more about the Pac-12. It will definitely tell us something about BYU, who Virginia plays next week.
Correct.
Who do you think is the top team in FBS right now in terms of forcing turnovers?
I would have no idea.
Virginia. They have forced 13 turnovers in 3 games.
And even so, that's if you don't have an offense, which it appears Virginia still doesn't.
Right.
That's a great way to win, like, 17-16 Virginia again.
And it's one of those things where if they can just sort of ride the defense for, I don't know, maybe to week 7 or 8.
Right.
Maybe the offense comes along. Maybe a few playmakers jump out there. So look, I'm not saying UVA to the Orange Bowl or anything like that, but it was very impressive, especially for an embattled coach like Mike London.
Yeah. They'll put the fear of God into a team just because of how upset they can make your offense.
Absolutely. But we've gone already too long with
way too much Virginia.
We have to talk about the actual most important game of this week. And that was, of course, South Carolina, Georgia.
Absolutely it was.
It
meant the most.
It's classic Steve Spurrier.
Right.
Right?
As soon as you knock him down.
As soon as you think you know what he is and what his team is.
Right. Bet you didn't see that coming.
Changes it all around.
Yeah. What was it about that you think meant the most about this game? South Carolina, after a lightning and rain delay, that looking forward to the rest of the season you can take from both what South Carolina and what Georgia did?
On Georgia's side of the ball, I think the defense has a ton of holes in it right now.
Yeah, especially the secondary.
Right,
yeah.
And we saw that a little bit in the first half against Clemson, but you just sort of assumed, well, they got it together. They have Jeremy Pruitt. It's going to be fun.
Right.
I really don't know if that's the case. And, you know, they're not going to play a ton. The SEC East is not super heavy on offense this year.
Terrible quarterbacks.
But they're going to have to play Matty Mock, and that's going to be a problem. They're going to have to play Auburn. That's going to be a problem.
Yes, it is.
As far as South Carolina goes, you know, I think they just need to find consistency. This was a game that, even though they played much better than they did against A&M,
right.
they really only won because Georgia couldn't keep it together with missing a very short field goal, making questionable decisions on the goal line, and then barely getting a 4th and 1 at the end of the game.
Oh, God.
What stands out to you, though?
I'm going to stay West Coast, which is an enormous shocker, obviously. Yeah. UCLA, Texas, the fact that Brett Hundley went down early, that means a ton if UCLA is going to stay as a top 10 team. The fact that they gutted out a win against probably not a great team, but they should have lost that game.
Yeah.
Jerry Neuheisel was totally serviceable. And the fact that they can win ugly, I guess, week in and week out at this point, it's something, because they'll get better.
You just said Neuheisel was totally serviceable.
Okay. Jerry Neuheisel didn't lose this game.
Good. Yeah.
Richard Gerald Neuheisel, whatever his name is. Right. So that's what it is to me. And I should say, the giant reptile in the room, triple overtime.
Why would you do this?
Florida. I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to show the correct reaction.
You do whatever you want.
To Florida Gator football. She's so confused.
No, she's reacting totally appropriately.
Okay, that's exactly how. Was that 4 quarters of reactions?
That's the feeling I've had for the last 3 years.
I'm so very sorry. But the good news is week 4 is going to be fun. We're going to see you next week. Ryan's back. I'm back. We'll see you soon.
Roll Tide.
Hey, thanks for watching this SB Nation video. If you liked it, do us a solid and click that thumbs up button. And for more from SB Nation, subscribe to our channel. And while you're at it, how about watching one of these videos over here? Come on, what else are you doing today? Click it. Go.